First in high definition from the station on your side, this is WAVY News 10.
We begin with breaking news on the peninsula.
A prisoner escaped from the Newport News City farm off of Menchville Road.
Police say 25-year-old Curtis Cordell walked away from that farm this morning. 10 Your Side's Jason Marks is live from where police are searching.
Jason, why was Cordell in the city farm in the first place?
Well, Nicole, Cordell actually came to the city farm last Wednesday, so he was here less than a week. He was serving a 7th-month sentence for grand larceny. Now, let's show you what this facility looks like. We're told it's a minimum security prison here in Newport News near Menchville. Now, we're told that earlier around 9:15, that's when Cordell went missing. According to officials, we're told Cordell was being taken to the magistrate's office. He was put into a holding cell during that transfer. Officials explain what happened next. Now, we did some digging into Cordell's criminal past, and we've learned that he's been arrested almost 10 times in the last 2 years here in Newport News, also in Hampton, anything ranging from drug charges to, as we mentioned, grand larceny. Now, he would be classified as a non-violent offender. As we mentioned, this facility is a prison, and it's for people who went through the Newport News justice system, already been convicted. Most of the offenders out here are non-violent, but there are some that are violent. We're told the last time there was an escapee here at this facility was 3 years ago. Of course, police, although Newport News Police, Hampton Police, they're all looking for Cordell right now. If you have any information on where he is, you're asked to give the crime line a call. We'll have much more on this story coming up tonight on WAVY News 10 at 6, but for now, we're live in Newport News. Jason Marks, 10 on your side.
Notice the beautiful sunshine outside today. I bet people were checking those calendars because it should be a lot cooler.
Certainly is nice. We saw highs in the 70s today, but you know how this works. We're about to get a reality check, and it comes from 10 on Your Side Chief Meteorologist Don Slater. So how bad is it going to get, Don?
Well, it's not going to be horribly bad, but it is going to be a lot closer to normal coming up for tomorrow. But first of all, we're going to start to see some rain. Here's a look at our tower cam. Beautiful sunset. We ended up with a lot of sunshine today, and that warmed our temperatures well into the 70s, around 72, 73 degrees across much of the area. But there is rain that's going to be starting to move on in during the overnight hours. We'll likely start to see it a little later this evening. I'm sliding the picture over there so you can see again that rain is on off toward about the Danville area, north of Raleigh, Durham, south of about Roanoke, just touching into Roanoke, and that is advancing eastward and is likely to continue to advance eastward during the overnight hours. Now, I want to show you also a little wider view. It'll be rainy at first, coming up overnight, and then cooler after temperatures today into the low 70s. You know it's got to change, and change it will. We're likely to see around half an inch, perhaps 3/4 of an inch of rainfall overnight and first thing tomorrow morning, and then it cools down. We'll tell you how much cooler it's going to be. Not bad. We'll tell you about that in just a few minutes.
Detectives have just told us how a 13-year-old boy got a gun that killed a girl.
Police say he shot the 12-year-old. They also say the boy who killed Carolyn Walker got the gun from another child, that he got the gun from a parent without that person knowing.
This information comes on the same day the 13-year-old boy requested to be released from jail. 10 on Your Side's Ann McNamara was in that hearing today. Ann?
The 13-year-old boy will remain behind bars. The judge denied a request to release the boy and put him under house arrest until the trial.
And the discipline kind of needed to be brought to the table before this situation happened.
The brother of 12-year-old Carolyn Walker says he will be at every court date to make sure his sister gets justice. True to his word, Brandon Walker was there today when her accused killer requested to be released. The boy appeared by video. Cameras were not allowed inside the courtroom, but Walker explains what he saw on the screen.
No, I didn't see, no remorse. I didn't see, I'm sorry, or, I just want to say I'm sorry to the family. I didn't hear none of that. He just looked at it as if he was trying to go outside.
Outside, that's where police say the 13-year-old boy shot and killed Walker. Her family says the boy was playing with a gun when he shot her in the head.
My sister lost her death due to kids just trying to have fun, just trying to play around with stuff.
The story has many, including the Walkers, wondering how the child got the gun. His mother had no answer. Did you have guns in your home? Did he get the gun from somewhere else? And today, police confirmed he got the gun from another child. Police say even with that new information, there are no further charges. Coming up new at 6, hear more reaction about that new information from Walker's brother. For now, I'm Ann McNamara, 10 on your side.
State law says the defendant must be at least 14 years old to be tried as an adult. The boy in this case is 13, so he will be tried as a juvenile. The trial will start later this month, and because the suspect is underage and not being tried as an adult, 10 on your side is not releasing his name.
3 fires in one building in less than a week. That's raised suspicions of investigators in Norfolk. The latest fire at the Rotunda building sent one person to the hospital for treatment. 10 on your side's Ava Hurdle talked to those investigators today, and Ava, this must be quite unnerving for those who live there.
Pretty frightened, pretty scared right now. I was in bed asleep, and my fire bell went off, and I jumped up and got out the door, and there was a fire out there.
The first fire and the third fire were suspicious, nuisance fires. They were set involving small materials. The second one, we're still waiting on the classification from the fire marshal's offices. Yes, we're concerned. We shared that concern with the residents last night when we had a meeting with them. They expressed theirs, and we're trying to work together in the best way to solve this.
Because it wakes you up out of a deep sleep. Well, at this time, cleanup is underway in that building. The site manager declined comment on camera, but residents are concerned as well as the fire department, and so both want to see this solved and that suspect caught.
All right,
back to you.
Thank you, Ava Hurdle. We're going to stay on top of this story. The Rotunda formerly housed bank and offices until it was converted to condos more than 4 years ago.
We'll be right back. Wow, what a gorgeous day. Makes you want to pull out pink to wear.
Yeah, how about that? Why don't we just pour that pink into a bottle and just keep it on the shelf for the next, what, 3 months?
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
Where's your pink?
I don't have pink.
My goodness.
Not even socks. I'm sorry. Yeah.
The man wears pink socks. You heard it here.
Yeah, we've got gorgeous weather. I'm just taken aback by all that. Speechless. Here's a look on Super Not Pretend Live. We've got rainfall moving in. You know that it can't last with this kind of weather that we've got going on. And the cloud cover really didn't thicken up all that much. So we had plenty of sunshine today, and that allowed the temperature to warm a couple of degrees above what we expected. We expected 70, and it was around 70, 73, 72, 73 degrees into the region. So again, very nice warm day, but you can see the rainfall is not too far away, and there's cloud cover that's moving on in. Obviously, there's rain, there's cloud cover, and that's going to be moving on in a little later. So it's going to get rainy, and then it's going to get cooler. Now, this rain does not look all that impressive right now, but it'll get a little more impressive coming up by a little later tonight. By midnight, we'll have a pretty steady rainfall throughout the region into tomorrow morning, and then we'll finally clear off late in the day or tomorrow night, and lots of sunshine coming up for the day on Friday. And a little later in the week, we'll likely see some rainfall again with all that stuff building on off to the west. So that's where the rainfall is coming from. You can see cloud cover through the region a little bit every now and then, but it's mostly thin clouds. By 9 o'clock this evening, we've got some rain into the region. West-southwesterly wind at 10. Now, I said on the top there, that top thing, it said rainy, then cooler. There's the cooler part. Obviously, here's the rainy part. And the cooler part will start dropping in overnight. It's going to get us tomorrow. 5 to 10 mile an hour winds, 2 o'clock in the morning. At 7 o'clock in the morning, some rainfall into the region still, and heavier rain to the north of this low. That'll slide eastward on out to sea. By 9, 10 o'clock, most of the rain is gone. A couple of stray showers. Winds have flipped on around to the north, and temperatures have begun to drop. Now, we'll start out the day relatively warm. It'll be pretty close to 58, 60 degrees first thing in the morning, around 7, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. After that, we drop, and then our skies clear off later on tomorrow night and into Friday. There's we are Friday at the noon hour, and Friday at the end of the day. Winds become a little more east-northeasterly at 5 to 10 miles miles an hour. Now, how much rain do we get? Again, around half an inch to about 3/4 of an inch of rainfall. Good solid rainfall into the region overnight. First thing tomorrow, there's where we are first thing tomorrow in terms of temperature, 58, 59, and again, pretty close to 60, but by 3 o'clock, around 53 degrees. There's where we are by Friday morning. 40 degrees, 35, 40 degrees, and again, during the day coming up on Friday, I'm going to go a little warmer than 47. I'm going 51 for a high coming up on Friday. Beautiful right now. Partly cloudy skies. Temperatures into the upper 60s. High today, 73 thus far. Obviously, we're going to see our things change throughout the region. Again, with 73 degrees for high temperatures, 72, 73 degrees. You know it's got to change, and change it will. There's where we are for tomorrow. 59 early in the day and dropping only 51 on Friday. And basically lower 50s all the way through the weekend into Wednesday.
Coming up, a recall many people need to know about. Certain birth control pills recalled for a major error.
Find out what the company says caused the problem. An attempted robbery in the middle of a crowded store. It happened to this woman until a complete stranger jumped in to help. We're going to hear from both the victim and her hero.
Virginia Beach police say they arrested a man for exposing himself to 2 women and 2 teenage girls. Detectives say 50-year-old Kevin McClanahan exposed himself 3 times in 1 month. It happened at the London Bridge Shopping Center on Virginia Beach Boulevard. McClanahan is out of jail on bond.
All cats at a local animal shelter have feline herpes. So now the Isle of Wight County facility must be cleaned and disinfected over the next month. Officials are trying to find homes for cats who can't stay there during that time. Vets say the virus is not passed on to people or dogs or other animals, just cats. But if you touch an infected cat, you can give it to another cat. 30 cats were infected during the outbreak, and the shelter is still trying to find homes for 16. If you want to adopt one, call the animal shelter at 365-6318. Most of the cats, you should know, can't be cured of feline herpes, but the symptoms can be treated. We'll repeat this number for you later on. The Hampton School Board will determine the fate of a local elementary school. The board will vote on consolidating Merrimack Elementary tonight. Officials say that move would save nearly $1 million. If the school board votes yes, Hampton City Schools would consolidate Merrimack Elementary with other schools, including Cary Elementary. Tonight's meeting is a public one. It starts at 6:30 at Jones Magnet Middle School.
There's a plot for a vacant lot in downtown Norfolk. This morning, city leaders revealed the plan to build up the empty space on Main and Granby Streets. This is what it looks like now after plans for a new Westin hotel fell through. City will develop the area into what it's calling the plot.
It'll function much like a park, but it'll also be a place for public art, for performance, and for other programmed events that volunteers and institutions downtown can utilize. I think it's going to push people further down Granby Street that are already at many of the businesses that are doing well.
The plot is a temporary solution until a new developer and new financing is in place to build the Westin. Some 1 million women could be at risk of unintended pregnancies. Pfizer recalled 1 million packets of birth control pills because of a packaging error. Some packets were found to have too many pills with active ingredients. Others were found to have too few. The problem affects low overall 28 tablets and generic norgestrel and ethanol estradiol tablets. If you take these birth control pills, contact your pharmacist. Pfizer says the mix-up was caused by both mechanical and visual inspection failures on the packaging line. The drug maker says the problem has been fixed.
I think the biggest concern is if women are off of the active pill for more than 8 days, they really could ovulate in the next cycle and be at risk of an unintended pregnancy.
A lot of people are responding to the story on WAVY's Facebook page. Lydia says, not really something you want to make a mistake with. Farah says, oh wow. And Nikki, I guess we will have a bunch of surprise births. You can weigh in also. Just go to the WAVY TV 10 Facebook page and share your thoughts with 10 on your side. We posted more information about this recall, by the way, on WAVY.com. Click the On Your Side tab, then product recall.
And the nation's largest doctors group is recommending vaccine changes. The American Academy of Pediatrics now say that boys and girls as young as 9 can get the HPV vaccine. Human papillomavirus is transmitted sexually and linked to cervical cancer in women, but certain HPV strains cause many head and neck cancers, particularly in men. Doctors say the vaccine is most effective at creating HPV antibodies when kids reach the age of 11 or 12, often before they reach sexual maturity.
If you wait until you think you know when they're sexually active, you may miss the opportunity to protect them.
Another change, a meningitis booster shot for 16-year-olds. Meningitis is potentially deadly, a deadly bacterial infection. Doctors say children should get vaccinated at age 11, but that the vaccine weakens over time. Also, children between 6 months and 8 years who didn't get a flu shot last year should get 2 doses this year.
It seems the American dream is getting harder and harder to achieve. The Census Bureau says the nation's home ownership rate dropped to 66% at the end of 2011. That's the lowest level in 14 years. Experts blame tight lending standards and foreclosures. President Obama is trying to throw a lifeline to people who are struggling to pay for their homes. Hear his plan to help people pay their mortgages tonight on WAVY News 10 at 11. Well, what would you do if you heard someone screaming for help in the middle of a store?
Lucky for one Newport News woman, someone jumped into action when police say a thief tried to rob her. Then on your side, Stephanie Harris talked to the victim and the man who stepped in to save the day.
Time, Nicole, it happened at the Walmart on Jefferson Avenue in Newport News. Young Cha right there, she went in to buy some groceries when someone walked right up, she says, and took her wallet. Now, she doesn't know whether or not to call this man gutsy or stupid, but one thing's for sure, he was surprised when another man came charging at him.
But they say
Young Cha had her wallet, keys, and phone stacked just like this inside her grocery cart.
maybe it wasn't the smartest thing, but I mean, I wasn't really thinking anything was going to happen on a Monday night.
But while she stopped to look at Valentine's cards, police say a thief swooped in and took advantage.
Next thing I know, I'm screaming, he has my phone, he has my stuff, somebody help me, somebody help me.
Most shoppers, she recalls, just stopped and stared.
We were running through the store, zigzagging through the clothes. I mean, I don't know what he thought, thinking that he was going to just, you know, lose me in Walmart.
Then, from out of nowhere, she says, a man in jeans and a t-shirt came running with a vengeance.
And tackles the guy in front of Walmart and kind of holds him down, and then at that point I realized it was a police officer.
That's right, a police officer. Turns out her hero is Michael Webb, who just happened to be shopping.
I took him down, pushed to the back as he went down, put my knee in the small of his back and grabbed his arm, put behind his back, and just held him until officers came.
This is the man he took down, James Kane. Officer Webb says he found Chaw's wallet hidden inside the stunned and intoxicated 23-year-old's jacket sleeve. He's now charged with larceny.
Say we're 24 hours, we're always working, no matter where we are.
So, lucky for Chaw, but not so much for Kane.
Yeah, exactly. Watch out, you criminals.
Now, Chaw says she will never leave anything in her cart again. And Officer Webb also advises his own wife, he says, to hold a clutch purse instead of one of these with a strap. He says wearing it like this is just too easy for someone to snag it and run away. Stephanie Harris, 10 on your side.
And Kane has a court hearing set for March. We asked to talk to him inside the jail. He said no.
A scary situation 25 feet above the ground. It unfolded as a camera recorded it. Find out how a group of skiers brought a young boy to safety.
And Newport News police say they had the area surrounded. So how did an armed man get away? Why timing had a lot to do with it next.
A scary scene above the ski slopes in Wisconsin. Check it out. This little boy was dangling from a lift 25 feet above the ground. A skier on the lift held on to the boy to keep him from falling. Someone at the bottom of the slope snapped these pictures. Another group of skiers gathered under the boy as he dangled from the lift.
I was probably 100 yards away, but I could hear them saying, okay, we're going to let him go. We're going to catch him. So I'm like, wow, this is going to be pretty interesting. So they said 1, 2, 3, and the person on the chairlift let him go. and he was free falling, and they just caught him just effortlessly, and the boy was very safe.
That boy fell into the arms of those below and was not hurt. Wow. Well, during commercial breaks, you usually get up and grab a drink or something, but on Sunday, these will likely keep you in your seat. From racy to ridiculous, a sneak peek at the ads that you'll see on Super Bowl Sunday.
You can already tell where they're going. Plus, riding the tide to see Sunday's big game may not be so easy. We'll tell you which trains will be shut down. That could put a damper on your Super Bowl travel plans locally.
Hey, Matt, how you doing, buddy?
All right.
Hey, Matt.
Hello, Matt. I think Art would like to speak with you again.
Oh. Okay, Art.
I just want to let you know, we've got a gig Friday night at the Ice House if you want to come hear us play.
We're up there.
All right.
Super Bowl Sunday is as much about the commercials as it is the kickoff. Here's a preview of what you'll see.
I'm calling the studio, Matthew. You're not shooting today.
He bought it. How can I handle work on a day like today? One of the worst performances of my career, and he never doubted it for a second.
You want me to go to Newark with those guys? No, they're all business.
You packed this bag yourself, sir?
Yes, I did. Oh, okay, that is not mine. Ron, Poison Ivy shampoo just does not sound like a winner to me. Guys.
Send me a sombrero.
Sending a sombrero.
Roderick. Roderick. You're still here? Do you have anything better to do? Go on, get going. Go.
Bueller. Advertisers paid about $3.5 million for a 30-second spot. Can't wait to see all those. Well, we could see a Doritos ad created by a Virginia Beach graphic designer. Jonathan Friedman's entry is one of 5 finalists. The concept, a dog silencing a man with Doritos after he spots the dog burying a neighbor's cat. You can only see the big game and the commercials here on WAVY TV 10. NBC's pregame coverage begins at 1 p.m. on Sunday. Kickoff is at 6:30. Till then, we have an entire page dedicated to the Super Bowl on WAVY.com. And keep it right here. WAVY News 10 at 5:30 starts right now.